Hey cuties, what's up? We're back with some more of the daily N.O.D.E, and today I didn't know what I was going to do, because I was going to do a table resembling the chair from yesterday, but I was like, I can't do two of the same looking things back to back, plus I think I need to like flesh out the way the table's going to look. I'm kind of thinking that I don't really like the way it looks like in my head. Like usually any of these things, I'm going to be like designing them in my head first and then making them, but it kind of feels too meh. Well, maybe it actually wouldn't be too bad if I just add like a little extra nonsense. I don't know. We'll have to see how I feel about that. But I think we're just going to do a simple wooden shelf today, I think, which should be easy, but we might have to do a couple little tricks here and there. I already have like the basic settings pulled up, so my camera's like a square already. Got ambient colors on if anyone cares about that stuff, subscreen or subspace reflections, film and all that. The color management, standard video contrast, that's already all set up. So I think we could just do this all with one cube. Now, like typically maybe you would go and get like several cubes, make shelf, like the boards of the shelf, and then just do that. But I think this can all just be done with a singular cube and then proper texturing and whatnot. And we're gonna be doing UVs today, so get excited for that. I haven't really been doing any proper like UV unmapping. We did it yesterday, I think, at one point, so that we could draw on the seat of the chair, but today we aren't. We can wait until we get inside this. We're not going to do this. So select everything and scale that on the Y so that it has like that thin look to it, right? It needs to be thinner than what you call it. I'm just going to grab the top of this and pull that up to like here. That looks fine. I could do a refrigerator actually again, which I've made a refrigerator before, so it's kind of like, do I really want to make another one with how complicated that was? I don't know if it was really complicated. It's just I already have a refrigerator now, and a lot of this is just me making random objects, so if I ever want to use a bunch of objects, I already have them pre-made instead of having to make them. So like whenever I'm designing some big project, it's like, oh yeah, I already have a shelf, I already have a bottle of water, I already have a weird chair, I already have a bar of soap. I don't have to make them on the spot, right? So first off, how do I need to cut this? Because this needs to be pushed in, but I know I need the sides to be sliced. First off, we're gonna have to cut this in half so we can mirror the other side, so delete the vertices there. So now it's just a thing that's been sliced here. Then we go over here to the modifiers and do mirror, which is something we just do all the time. So now we have that being mirrored. We're also going to be using a texture from like Texture Haven or whatever for the wood as well. So it's kind of what you would just do. You just look up on Texture Haven and whatnot to get that. Oh, you know what? Do I have this? Oh, I didn't have this set to the basic stuff. That's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and do this again. Take that, open up our environment. We're gonna use the decor shop again. Yeah, it looks like that's in. Let me just check that. Check that it's not messed up, because it can get messed up if you do it wrong. Like if I do this, maybe, yeah, see, if I have it in UV, that happens. So you just don't really want to mess around with that. Just leave it like that. And we don't have a light, so let's just go ahead and back out of that. Add a sun, again, because that's just what I usually use. You can make things look better if you're not using sun, like if you had some like volumetric fog and some spotlights and stuff like that, but like this isn't that crazy of a thing. It's just a shelf in the void, right? We don't need all that nonsense happening. So I'm just gonna do that. They don't need to be positioned like this. It's just how I want to do things, right? Like they don't need to be here. They could just be down here in the center. It's like their placement in 3D space doesn't matter because they're just a sun. It's just where this is pointing is what matters. And then you're going to be a 1, you're going to be a 1, and this is a 3. Okay, now we can go back to editing this. We just have all these in the way now. So we can just turn them off while we're working on this. So actually cutting this in half causes issues, but we can maybe fix that later. So I need to cut the side here to there is acceptable, I want to say. We want to cut the top about the same, and then want to cut to about here. Yes, yeah, to about there. And then we can slice this. We're gonna bring up the loop cut menu down here now that we've added the loop cut. And how many do we need? That would be 3 shelves. This is 4 shelves, 5, 6. I think that's enough because I have a wooden shelf in my room, so we're somewhat basing it off of that. Let's go ahead and take this and do that and that. Now, what I'm doing here is just making. What I should do is actually dissolve the edges there and there, like dissolve these edges, and then we have like these 2 big things here. Let's actually do the whole thing. Let's dissolve everything. So dissolve the edges there. I'm gonna put a split down the middle and then split there, then double that maybe. No, undo that. Split, split, get rid of that. Twin split this now that it's like, I mean, I didn't have to go through all that to do that. Dissolve that. We have 2 big things here. Then I'm going to split this now into 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller shells. I mean, this could be shrunken down maybe, because maybe it's a bit too small, but I think I'm gonna live with that. Granted, we have that. I'm just realizing that needs to be gotten rid of, I think. I'm just like trying to feel out how I want this to pan out. That has to be like that because it has to be the top, and that's the top. You'll see why this is important later. Maybe we just go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five splits, and then I'm just going to drag these down a bit, which increases the size of that. I'm going to deselect that with control select left click, right? That lets you deselect something, and I'm going to drag that down. We have 2 big ones here, then these are getting smaller and smaller. So maybe want to like pull these up. Because all the shelves, all the shelves on my shelf are all different sizes. Now I wanted to do this easily, but maybe I didn't have to do it like this. At all, actually. But do that, that's gonna pull from both sides. Yeah, I didn't have to do this. The sides here. Get rid of that. We could just slice it into pieces like that. Because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in the future. Like, we're going to add faces. And if I'm going to insert faces, I don't need the sides like that. Well, I kind of do need them here at the bottom, but we'll get to that when we need to. So now we're going to back out and then apply. I need that clipping to be turned on. Apply this, then go back and edit this. We can maybe even like delete this middle edge here. Now that that's done, I'm gonna I'll probably just grab every other face because they'll interact with each other if I don't do that. Like if I did this, you get one big piece like that, which is why I'm doing every other one first, and we're just going to drag that down by about, I don't know, there. Let's see, now I'm realizing that the problem with this is it's going to make like huge gaps here in the middle instead of them being equal. Do I care is the question. We could just feel how it looks. I needed to see how far I drug this. About there. Let's put it like 50. 0, 5. Then just take these three, drag them down, and then just change this number to the same thing. Just 0, 5. So we have that. Now, actually I probably want to scale this on the Y down. It's not really like centered anymore. Maybe not. Let's give it its depth back. So then you go ahead and grab all of these and then extrude them on the Y until they hit the back of this. You see, like these might be a bit too big. I guess it doesn't matter if you appropriately do that right. Say the next. I just needed to see what it would look like. Like there being like big hunks of wood there is fine. Like I'm just like basically too much on mine in real life. Like the boards are this thin on mine, but who cares, right? So I see what I need to do. So we can just. I'm just gonna roll this back real quick. We are gonna go with that. The mirror's back. We have to go like really far back. I do want that. Can y'all turn off please again? Thank you. We got rid of these sides, right? We got rid of this, so solve that edge. Cut it down the middle. We want to go what, like here? F4, like have these two here. Then take you and you, and then solve you. And then I want this to be even, not all over the place. And then we can go 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. So these are smaller than this. Then we go ahead and back out. Reapply this. Go back and edit it. Grab this and dissolve that. Again, grab every other thing. so that it doesn't make one solid thing. Drop that down, same thing, I'm gonna do that. 0, 5, grab every other, just do that, you can change it later. 0, 5. There we go. I'm gonna proactively grab the top of this and pull this up so that it matches the thickness of the others. We have to do the same thing here, which is kind of like the issue with the bottom of this. I mean, you don't have to, but for some reason on mine, in real life, it has this on it for some reason. By this I mean something like this. So what I could do is get kind of messy down here. I'm not sure. So if this was like connected down, it would not be too hard. I guess I could just add. Like, it doesn't have to be. I don't have to keep trying to make it resemble somewhat like the one in real life. Let's go ahead and grab all our shells. Once again, we're gonna extrude them in like so. We will need to connect this later, so I'm just gonna do that now, I think. Can I... what is cutting this in half? Cutting it in half does let me cut it in half, but what happens if I, zoom in, come over here, take my knife with K, and cut from here to here, and then do the same thing on the other side. Cut from here to here. To create a straight line there, what does that do to this? For some reason it's still able to cut, because I guess it didn't really change anything. Okay. Well, that means I'm going to cut this, but it also means I'm probably just going to cut this in half. Again, so we can mirror it now that it's been properly sliced up, because I wouldn't have been able to manipulate it like this if I still had it mirrored. Which is why I had to apply the mirror and then modify it and then redo it. So, reapply the mirror. Let's get in there and cut this, because I'm just being lazy. I don't want to have to cut 12 times. Granted, it's not really something that's going to take that long. Cut that. Apply that. I wish I could cut down without causing too much issue, but oh well. I think I'll just give this thing some stubs at the bottom. Just grab the face here and like pull it up to like there, so it's also thick. Do I take the sides and pull them out? Or no? By that I mean, do I want to do something like that? Just to give this like a slightly thicker sideboards, I guess. Again, doesn't really matter too much. Now, the reason why we're doing this slice here is for UVs in the future, and by future I mean probably like right now. So we need to grab you and you, then you. Then we're gonna go ahead and mark seam. That's the top of the board. Well, it also matters because, well, I'll do that later. I need to remember to not forget to do that. So mark seam, mark seam there. So there's a bottom of the board. So this is considered like one piece of the texture. This is one piece, and then this is one piece. And I gotta do that for everything here. So that, these two, that, and then one in the back. Mark seam. Would the sides of this be considered one huge chunk of wood, and thus I need to treat it as such. Okay, that looks fine. That and that. There we go. And then the bottom, I guess. So now we have that, but then, like, you know, I don't have a straight line on the bottom, which is annoying. And I don't know if I can achieve that without some sort of nonsense happening. That's the issue we're going to have with this, is I can't stroke this line down in a way that's going to let me do this without screwing up the construction of this. Because this will eventually curve in like that, right? If I cut the line here, it's going to do this all the way to the back. Even though I need that to be a specific way. I need the back of this also sliced or marked. I should have like done that too. Do I just make it messy? Because I don't know what's going to happen if I come over here. This is like the annoying kind of work you might end up with when doing. I can't. See, the problem with cutting is I want to make a straight line. Holding shift doesn't do anything. Control doesn't do anything. Alt doesn't do anything. I can't make a straight line without just eyeballing it to be a straight line. And that probably is straight. But that's besides the point. And it's like, okay, now cool, we have that, but as you see here, when I like slice this in half, it's not making a line underneath, right? See, that's empty. And I'll have to do something about that later. But there's a very, again, important reason why I have to do that, so we're just gonna have to live with it. Live with it being messy for now, and I can fix it after I slice this. I can actually fix that in like a second. The top actually needs the exact same treatment before I screw up and forget to do that. So let's go ahead and take you and then slice up and then just hope I can get a straight, that looks straight line. There we go. So now that's like that. We can still do this, but it stops there and it doesn't go around the back. If I want the back, I have to do it like that. I could probably just cut though and hope for the best. Okay, so that's sliced in. There's any more weird slices that I have to make, or is that everything I need to do? I think that's everything I needed for that. So I will go ahead and come into here and get an incredibly close slice. Like about there. And you'll see why that matters later. And then we need to fix the fact that that's just like not doing anything. I don't know if I want to like slice beforehand or not. I think also I might just need to maybe like undo that. Yeah, I undid it. So I got rid of that, what I just did. Let me just redo it. I got rid of the slice I just made. So yeah, I'm going to undo that. Yeah, get rid of it, and then try and connect the top and the bottom with a cut, and that will actually fix everything. It's just trying to get a straight line, again, is impossible. By hand, I don't see any crooked lines, so I'm going to accept that as straight. I'm going to do that from the other side too, because then I can just connect both sides without any issue. Okay, there. Can kind of just almost see that. So, get the knife, grab that. It's going to be to there, so I just need to line that up with that. I had it straight for a second. I think that's good. Oh, we've like flipped it upside down. So now we have that. I can just take this and connect it to that without any issue. There we go. Might not even need the these triangles now. We can get rid of the triangles just to make things look nicer. I think that's fine. Like dissolve the edges here. No, because this is the connecting into the void, so no, don't do that. So now when I slice this, it should just like, once again, yeah, go all the way around. There, I just didn't want to do things like eyeballing stuff like that. But I guess I kind of have no choice, but now we're back into the place that we want to be. So then you can get this tiny slice on the side. I need to go ahead and, hold on, maybe before I add that, removing that slice again, hold on. Just cut there for a second. Before I do that, let me just finish doing this, right? So mark seam, so that's another piece of the plank. That's the side of the plank. That is that. We are going to have to do some more eyeballing here, because we have to... Well, we don't have to pretend, right? We can, like... I don't know, fake it this way, maybe? We can fake it this way. Goes all the way around, right? Yeah, it does. That goes all the way around. And by that, I mean the entire back part of this could just be one big piece of wood. Let me undo that, actually. So clear seam, mark seam there, mark seam, and then like, oh, I should just do that. Mark seam, but then you want to grab the edges as well. Mark seam, and then get the bottom edge. Mark seam on that. So yeah, that, the big side there, that. You gotta make sure all of these things are correct. And like this is one big piece as well. So mark seam there, mark seam there. I don't know if I could just grab that. No, you can't, because of the geometry won't let you. Mark seam there. There. Mark that. The bottom of that is correct. And that is as well. I do need to like get the centerpiece as well. Mark seam there. Like I had to like visually in my head understand like where these pieces are connecting to this. Mark that. Everything's being sectioned off into pieces. I don't know if that's like really coming through here. We gotta get these individual slices as well. Because it just might just seem like, oh, you're just putting a bunch of red everywhere. Like, what are you doing? But it will make sense later. I think this is correctly split into pieces, except for the fact that I didn't do the insides as well. That needs to be sliced. Oops. Move the center, what is it, Shift S? Yeah, and then cursor to world origin to get that back. So if you wondered, like, if you accidentally move the cursor here to somewhere like this thing, you just press Shift S and then cursor to world origin, which is X, where X, Y, and Z meet up down there. Okay, so now this should be perfectly sliced into pieces, I believe. And all this has to be different as well, like when it actually gets textured down. I'm not even going to shade smooth, because there's no reason to shade smooth something that's just a bunch of right angles and whatnot. So I'm going to apply the mirror there. I'm probably going to remove the middle edge as well, because there's no need for it. Just another vertice, the unnecessary vertice. The back of this is pretty close to that, so now we go ahead and go to UV editing, click on everything, then UV unwrap. So now everything is perfectly divided into all these little squares. So like each of these panels is a like part of this. Like if it lets me grab something, so this is that and this is that, right? Or like this entire section here, I'm grabbing everything around it, but like all of this is these different pieces. If that makes more sense. And that's why you want to cut it into pieces, because now this is a single board, so you can put a texture right here and it will just apply to this board essentially. Yeah, that's like perfectly done. Now I need to like get the textures down. On this thing we need like 100 different textures. So it doesn't matter too much actually, because it's all split into pieces, but I guess it doesn't matter for this because you would want it to look all the same, except for this back part. I think I'm going to have be a different thing, so I'm going to remove that. Just remove the back section. It needs to be its own wood, potentially. So remove that. I might even remove this just to like fake the fact that this is supposed to be also that chunk of wood in the back as well. Okay, does the rest of this matter? No, I think it's fine. I think the problem is that this back part is going to be assigned to someone else, but it's fine. New. This is going to be wood. Assign this. But then I'm going to invert this. I forget how to invert. Control I, maybe? Yeah, Control I to invert your selection. So this is selecting everything I didn't have selected now. And then I'm going to create a new thing. This will be wood 2. And I'm going to assign this stuff to that for now. Now we do need the rendering on. I was like, what? Why does it look like that? Because the lights aren't turned on. It is kind of wonky, but what can you do? Let me see. Something like that. Yeah, I think we want it to be like aimed way down. This is just supposed to be like backlighting, so let me just move that like that. Then let's go ahead and go to shading. You can have your own wood texture here, but again, you can just get that from once again, what is it? Texture Haven or just free textures, free royalty, free textures online. Okay, I have a Control T on this. That's already set to UV here. Open. And I'm just going to be searching through my textures for, I think, plank. It's a plank or plywood. Wait, plywood 4K, because I have 1K and 2K. Wait, you know what I need to do? It's not this, actually. Let me delete this. So I'm going to click on the principal BDF. I'm going to Control Shift T. And Control Shift T means you can go into your textures, find your folder with all your textures, which is Plywood 4K, and then grab everything inside of that you're going to be using, which is going to be the do I just select everything or what? Because you want your normals, your roughness, your normal, your texture, and everything else. And let me just grab everything else. Just grab everything and put it in there. And then I'll fix it later. Fix any issues that could be arising. So ambient clears in, we don't need that. This is the texture for the wood. The roughness is how shiny it is. The normal is being put into that, but I'd rather this be put into a bump. So the heights drop it to like a 0.1. Then pop that in there. Would you want this to be smooth and not like this? Or what, right? I feel like you realistically would want a very smoothed up, polished up piece of wood, so you might not even want any like bump like this. But we'll see if we want to go with that later. Okay, so we have that coming together. And you see now why it's sectioned off, right? Because now this is a side, right? This is a side. This is a side. You can see that the edge cuts there as if it's a which did I remember to slice this? I think I did, right? I didn't have to leave. Pull this out. Edit. Did I forget to slice again? Oh my god, I forgot to slice it. Darn it. Now I have to be particular with how I do this then. My bad. I forgot to add that extra slice. There's a reason for that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and slide it over until it looks okay. I probably should have got it closer. About there. And what is that number? That's whatever this number is, right? You can see it over here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that while it's highlighted and do the same thing over here. I just drug it that way, but I'm going to paste that in there, but then leave the negative because we're going the opposite direction. So we want to go negative this number. And now that put it in the same spot so that now it's symmetrical. Which I want that like that. Because I need to grab like this. I really needed to have weighted on this. Do we do the top two? Maybe. I might have made it too big. Now, all I'm going to do with this, just to let the cat out of the bag finally, is just make this black. So that it makes it seem like there's dead space in between the boards and the whatever, right? It's going to take forever though, because I forgot to do this before merging everything into one piece. Again, this might be too thick. Could maybe try to fix that after applying the black, but I don't know. It's weird that this is slowing down. Like, you see how much of a delay there is of me clicking? That's weird. Okay, let's stop that. Peter must have been doing something. Okay, I think I got everything. So then we made a third texture and just call it black. Assign that there. Then make it black, of course, but we need to turn the roughness off. We need to come down here to spec, turn that off. You know what? We don't even need to do that. We're gonna go to shading. And in here, we're going to go ahead and add inputs RGB, change it to black, and then just connect that in there. And now that is just pure black. No modifiers, no shaders, or nothing. It is pure void. So now there appears to be like space in between the boards, question mark. That's all I was like trying to aim for. Again, it might be a bit too thick is what I was worried about. So that 4K texture is not looking too 4K now, is it? So I'm gonna grab this edge, I'm gonna grab that edge, I'm gonna scale on the X. And try to just, okay, I can't really do it. Scale X there. That should move both sides out, making a thinner line. Yeah, now you have this thin line. It's not too big. But just something to slightly break up the edges. To again, like fake there being something going on there. Also, that means I could do the same here. I need to do the same here. Get a cut and cut it here as thin as I can physically get it. Some needs to be moved more, so I can just grab the entire thing and then just scoot that. Maybe put my mouse here like G and then Y. G means it lets you translate things, and then I'm selecting the Y axis because it's just not letting me move it with any like delicateness. There we go. I'm holding shift now to try to get it to be thinner. There we go. Then I'll just do the same thing. I'm gonna alt left click into that and assign it there. So now there's this black line here as well. In between them, again, just breaking up the space there. Now with wood 2 here, I'm going to come over here to wood. I'm going to grab everything and then copy. So I'm just holding Control C, like your standard like copy command. Take everything out, delete it, and then place this in here. Just want it to be like next to the other one, roughly, so it's not too annoying. So no, it has the same thing being applied to it, but I want add like another color ramp. No, not color ramp. Use saturation and value. Do I want this to be darker or lighter? Darker, perhaps? I might want to go with like a contrast instead. Like saturation down. Then contrast. You're doing too much now. contrast up, it's doing that, but the contrast down to like a 0.6 value just actively darkens it. I don't know about that. Could just go like that and just keep the back red. It's like just doing too much now though. I usually just want this to be like a lighter color, which is why you drop the saturation to make it seem lighter. We need to like polish this down though. Like I'm removing the roughness here because I want to have control of it myself. It's not shiny enough. It's too shiny. I want it to be like shined up, polished up, but like that's like too much polish. We shouldn't be able to see the reflection so greatly. 0.25 perhaps to give us the like shine that we're looking for. Again, like the freaking, I'm adding a value here, it just turns all that into this. This 4K texture, and it looks so bad. Let me go to like a 3. Just repeat it enough times so that it doesn't look too bad. I'll do the same thing with this. I'll just take all the scale. So I'm grabbing the scale, moving backwards so that I can affect the X, Y, and Z all together instead of just one at a time. I'm putting in a singular value for all 3. But now that's set to 3, so now that looks better because it's been stretched out a bit. Now the thing is, like I have it all set together, but do I want these edges to be a slightly lighter color? You know, like the back here. Right, since I feel like you would, or you could end up with a situation like that. Also, I probably should turn the glaze on this on already. Wood 1, well, we're removing you just like the other parts. Goodbye. Move you up. Then what did I have for this? 2.5 or 0.25. Giving it a nice shine as well. Maybe you just want the back to not even be. Which one? Like you might just have a backing on this that is not like any crazy kind of color. It'd be like just black. And then go ahead and edit this. By that I mean like maybe take these. Well, what I was saying earlier, not by that, but like what I was saying earlier. These need to be a softer shade because, you know, they're the side of the plank. I don't know if we want to do that or not. Then let's get like a new thing, new, with 3, and assign them to that. But then we go here, shading. I'll probably still have them in there, but we can just wait. Let's go to wood, grab everything again. Control C, delete, paste that in. So now it's the same thing, but we can come over here and add the hue, saturation value, whatever, and crank the saturation down. Just like, is that okay? Well, not, you don't necessarily want it to be too far down. You might even want it to be like yellow. I don't know. And not yellow like that. 0.52. I think maybe these chunks of wood are just like too big from what I was doing before. Probably should have just done it. What I should have done is just had like these hollow and just add like a piece of a second object behind it instead of trying to make it all one solid unit. Then I could change the size of these at will, because it doesn't go around the side, does it? Yeah, the only thing that goes around the side is this one piece. If this line went around here as well, I could shrink these however I wanted them to be. Like, I don't know if we want that to be like that. Then we come over here. And no, same thing, just grab this. How far can I go down here? Not very. It isn't even like attempts to grab the sides here. Might want this to be like red, so I'm gonna change this to like a red color. Nice burgundy, I guess. Burgundy wood. Then come over here, slowly select the sides. That's been 51 minutes. I was like wondering how long has it been. Assign that to that. So now the sides of the boards are this softer brown. Let's go with this and see if we can do anything about that. Shifting down, I think, created a reddish tone, so like that. Saturation up maybe by a couple points. Yeah, we're getting much darker brown there. I think we need to come over here and then actually saturate this up. It might be too yellow. Like, I'm trying to get like a good color going. Obviously that's too much. Yeah, I like this color. Might even want it to go higher. There's a certain point where it loses its charm there. 7. Try to get it like slightly darker. Can I? No, I don't think I can. What I'm going to have to do, I was thinking like, do I want to extend this board out to give it like depth? By that I mean like grabbing this, which was easier to do this, which it technically could be. We'll teach you a little something else as well. I can grab all of this, let's say, and then come down over here to data, vertex groups, add a new group, assign this to that. So now when I want to select all of that, I can just click select, and now it selects everything I just had. So I never have to click like this again if I wanted to. This is going to mess up my thing though. Oh well. So what I'm thinking is if I take this and extrude like out a smidgen. Like that. Right, so the board is slightly three-dimensional. It might look a bit better. I just undid what I was doing. I'm gonna assign this to that. I'm just gonna lock that so it doesn't get hit anymore. So select, and you can see everything I had there. I might go up until here on the grid in the background. Did this go up or? It did. That's what I was worried about. Because I couldn't tell if I was doing it right or not. So select that. Come over here. I guess it really doesn't really matter too much because I can just, because that too much I can fix it later. I think that's a acceptable amount of distance on that. Again, we can always just pull it out a little bit more if we want to. So again, the issue now is the UVs of this thing need to be fixed. I have to do each side because it's not done right. So let me just, is that gonna get rid of everything I needed to do? So just select that entire edge. Yeah, so I can clear seam like that, and then start coming in here and marking the seam. And then that's fixed, sides are fixed. I just gotta click there, mark seam. I didn't think it would be that easy, but there we go. So I just need to collect this entire side and then clear that. And then select you, mark seam, and go all the way to the top. I guess I could just do this. I'm pressing Alt middle mouse button again to focus on a location if you've forgotten how that works. And mark seam there. Everything should be fine. I'm gonna have to redo the UVs, but it doesn't really matter. It's still just all going to be reorganized, but just in a different way. See, it's all just same. So now that extends forward a decent amount. Wood's still fine. Our black lines should still be there. What I don't know is that black there, or can't tell. Maybe the other way. I think it is, isn't it? I don't know. What group is it supposed to be? Regular wood? Yeah. Okay, so that is black, so I have to fix that. I don't know if I have to fix that everywhere, though. Or if it's just in these locations. Yeah, it's telling me black when I click on it. Like here too, or... Yeah, oof. Unfortunate. So all of this... got spun around. All of this is black, so let's go ahead and fix that. Just got to make sure you pay attention to little things like that. Assign to wood. Look at the other side. This was already done, but it's fine. We'll do it again. Sign. If it's fine. Computer doesn't like me moving around in rendered mode anymore, because this is a 4K texture. like the kind of like smoothness that it has isn't like nice. Like maybe we have to have a like really like the blowout is not nice. I hate the blowout. But that, I mean like how blurry this is, like at what 0.3, like how it's just pure white. It has to do with the spec, but still I think that's okay. So maybe we can just accept it being really shiny. Reflectively shiny. Like this bad boy is polished. Like heavily polished. Though I don't know about these sides actually. Maybe the this shouldn't be. Maybe this should be like nothing. One is this, right? I think one is that. So that can be rough. We'll accept you being rough. I want to see what the bump is going to do to this. Can't really tell it doing anything. Because it's shining, you'd be able to tell the bump would be modifying the light, but it kind of is not doing anything. Is this even like the proper thing? Let me use you. Are we already using that? Yeah, no, it's just that smooth. Weirdly. What about the other one? Because there's two different normals you can use. No, it's still smooth as all crud. Let's go back to them. Yeah, no, it's just not really affecting this for some reason. The normal isn't very high. I could use a completely different normal, or not normal, just a regular texture, but I'm not going to. Again, like, do I want this to be like this, or do I want it to just be like blacked out, like just a black background? If we just make it pure black, that means we don't have to make it, what you call it? I mean, it's actually a bit thick, in my opinion. It's a bit too thick, and I don't like that. I'm gonna come back here, behind this, go ahead and edit that. I feel like this would not look like that. You would have this. Hopefully that's everything. I think it is. Yeah, this would be like pretty dang thin, like that. On the back, yeah. It's still having like that kind of blur annoys me. Like it's pure. If I make it like pure shine, like now it's like it's too shiny, right? You don't want like a perfect reflection because that just doesn't make any sense unless you polished it up way too much. And I don't know if I want this to be like that either. I like how red this is, but I don't know if I want that to be so dried out on the sides. But you can just increase the saturation. You could just go to like 1. That's like too yellow, so go 1, perhaps. kind of think I want to push the sides out more than they are. Just defaults hue. Maybe that's okay. What is the hue on this? 4714. What does this look like then? 47 and then here. By 14 I'm at 1.4. That looks slightly better with it just being the same color, but I think maybe a saturation down would... I don't know. Saturation up? Well, saturation up isn't going to do anything because it can only get so saturated. Contrast. Contrast up by like 0.1. No. Brightness down. It's doing too much. Contrast down, too much. I don't know, maybe we just like keep it like that. It feels like a bit too orange though. Six, perhaps. Maybe that can be 6 and this can be 7. Just to give it that slightly softer color. Like maybe just change the hue. Just to make it stand out a bit. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna go here and edit the thing again. So I'm gonna select that and push it out further. Push it out like far. Like that. So now we have depth. I might even do the same thing to the top that I did to that. You know, like grab this. Not that though, because that's the backing. And extrude it upwards. Actually, you know what? No. I will do the back of this to make sure I grab everything. So that's, and do I take this edge as well? No, do not take that edge because that's supposed to be empty anyways. Yeah, I'm not taking that edge, good. And then we extrude that up. Like that. Then I have to do this again, all over again, but that's just the pains of dealing with UV mapping, the constant need to modify it. We have like a new problem here, and it's like here, this needs a line there. We need to add that there. Oof. Okay, I gotta like make sure to make all that perfect. There's stuff back there you might not be able to see. supposed to be like that or what? Technically, actually, like none of this should have a like a line there. I didn't even like think about what was happening here, like this black line being stretched out like that. We're kind of getting into the weeds at this point. Because I actually have to like remove like all of this. Because this is all supposed to be like one piece of wood, right? But then you have like stuff like that, which is getting weird. So that was already like that, wasn't it, though? What does the side of this look like? It's still functioning somehow. I don't know how it's still functioning, but it's still functioning. Though, yeah, the edge here is not connected, right? Yeah, it's like oof. So you have to get rid of both of that, but then you have to like mark that as a seam. But in this corner, what's happening down here? That's fine. I feel like this part actually is going to take a while and is annoying. I might just need to cut this part out. Because I do need to like come down here and like grab everything, and I might just actually cut this in half again so that I can... Oh, this needs to be marked though. I cut this in half so I don't have to worry about doing both sides. So edit this. Can I actually even get a thing down the middle? Yeah. We're going to remove the left side because I've already been working on the right side, so we're going to delete that. Like so. It's going to mess up the wood for a bit, but oh well. So we got the same thing, got a clear seam. Clear seam. Gotta make sure that that doesn't get screwed up though. Just checking. That's fine. That's all right. I think it's really just the... Oh, let me get rid of that. It's just the inside that needs a lot of work. Gotta clear that. Clear that. Of course, I am like highlighting a huge chunk of things instead of just clicking on it. I'm just dragging and doing that. I haven't really talked about that. I feel like that was kind of obvious what's going on there when I'm highlighting that stuff and getting rid of it. So if you don't understand why we're doing this, again, because we're trying to make everything seem as though it's like one piece. So these side parts are supposed to be like one piece of wood, right? So this whole part should be connected as one panel on the texture. So when I unwrap it, this should all just be one piece of material that the texture is being applied to. That makes sense. Like if it doesn't make sense, you'll understand once I unwrap it. So do I do anything about the bottom? I think we just leave the bottom as is. So that is done, I think. The side here is fine. Yes. It's, whoops, it's just this. Yeah, this should be that one piece. I mean, that right there is just all black, so it doesn't really matter. That is... I need to get in here and see if this is right. There's not a thing there. But do I want a cut here? I don't know. Like, do I need a cut here? I could, I guess. Just for the sake of things. Like, this is supposed to be a piece, so we can clear that, maybe. Mark that. I don't know why it does that when I try to look at something. Now, some of this is probably going to be ugly because I couldn't get it to work right. Was this always cut like that? I guess because of this here, but this shouldn't be there, I don't think, because this should all just be one piece. This is like the boring part of this. I didn't think this would be like so annoying this time around. I didn't expect it to be like this. Now this as well, like that should not be there. I think we have it put together properly. I hope. Because now once I come over here and then try to undo it, we have a fan happening here, but that's fine. Oh, actually, that's not right. I need to apply the, apply this. Get rid of that center, because that shouldn't be there. And now we can come over here and... Why did it do that? Now we come over here and unwrap this. So these curves here, like this weird nonsense here, is this entire thing as one piece. So the texture is going to go over that entire part. Like, it looks much worse now than it was before, but that's just how this is just going to end up looking. And now we have to fix like the texture, because I know some of the texture isn't going to be right. Yeah, like the black pieces here. I don't need to do it here. I can do it here. It's kind of hard to tell if this is black or not. I think it must be, right? Yeah, because it's so black that it can't just be shadow. We need to go one below that? I don't think so. I think we can just assume from here what we want to be clicking on. Honestly, I could just select the entire face right now. Click this and click Control L. That selects everything that's attached to that, because all that piece is supposed to be that anyways, so. Is there any more black anywhere else? This isn't supposed to be that though, I guess, so wood 2 for you. And just try to get everything that should be. Wood 2, just like select everything there. Try to get in here. Assign that to wood 2. Set to black, which kind of doesn't really matter since it's going to be that anyways, but just for the sake of it. Oh shoot, I left a seam here. Clear that. I don't know if that made anything funky or not, having that tear. It did fix something though. Like this. Like I'm going to connect to that just to make sure it's the wood 2. So yeah, now we have that. And if we can go a little bit further, I think, than just this by adding some nails on the side. Question mark? Not nail screws. I want to make them screws. It might end up being like a little bit tacky, I'm not sure. Also, this thing is like so dark on the inside from this is not giving a lot of light. 1.5. Just to try and do something about that. We aim it down. I mean, no, that's fine. Let's see. I am going to use a UV sphere, which we haven't really used yet. Just hope for the best on that. Just gonna move it up out of the way. Then edit this, and then look at it from above. Can I get a decent thing going? Not really. Hello? Why will you not select the inside of this? I'm just gonna do this. This is gonna be pretty messy, but oh well. Maybe about there. Delete that. Then perhaps here. Do I want to try to do this, or do I want to actually properly do this? I feel like this isn't gonna look good. What I'm trying to do. Just gonna like remove that as well. One more maybe. Alright, delete the faces there. Scale everything on the Z to squash it down. Trying to get all of the edges here around the inside there, and then extrude that down. Make sure it's going down. Can I just fill that in like that? I can. And I can just, I mean, do this if I really want it to be a bit better constructed. We're getting kind of messy here because it's kind of like, okay, I've been doing this for an hour. Let's just get it done, right? think that's fine for now. Just gonna throw in a... Oh, I didn't... Wait, why did this not... I must have missed these vertices here. Oof. It's not good. Subdivide that. And fill this in. And that. So I'm just gonna do that. And that. Actually, can I select that, mark that as like a seam for now, so that I can do this and select everything but that, and then let go of that, because I want to insert faces like so. Then we can shade smooth. Even though like the inside of it looks weird, but oh well. It truly does not matter. It just needs to be good enough. Like at a distance. Okay, so we got that. So I need to be like set origin to geometry, scale you down, bring you to the side. We need to be able to see where this is. It doesn't really matter because it needs to be like this anyway, so I can see exactly where it's at. Scale to like there, perhaps. Rotate on the X, 90, and then rotate Y, 90 as well. Nope, that didn't go the right way. It's not the way I wanted it to go. And did that. We need to scale on, rotate on the Z. Rotate Z, 90. I knew it was going to go the wrong way, so undo that. Rotate Z, negative 90, so it faces the other way. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just going to move it to, I don't know, there. I'm going to duplicate that and move it to, well, that actually, I think this is where the extends out, so it would go there, maybe. I'm going to actually join these together. Set origin to the geometry, and then scoot that in. Until it's like right above. Maybe we'll have it touching. But if it touches, it ends up making it not look as good. Just wanted to see what that would look like. Them sticking out like that. I think that's fine. They just need a texture. I guess we'll just go with it. I don't know if we want to go with metal or if we like it just being pure white like that. Metallic cranked up to the max. 0.2. I kind of like the metal. Honestly. I'm going to leave it. I don't know if I want them to be smaller, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that just to have something sticking out. Now we just go ahead and duplicate it. Well, undo that. Undo the duplicate because we need to generate a mirror and then select the thing to begin with. And I'm going to change this to shelf. But actually, is that so you can see that the screws, well, they should have been on the other side. Go rotation, all of that. Yeah. Then why are you not? No, because I didn't. There we go. Didn't click it. So now they're on both sides, like they should be. And then, you know, duplicate, drag down, So that's actually easier here because there's like a... These ones down here have a line in the middle that you can use as like a guide. Again, that's just Shift D, then right click to let go, and then you can just drag it to where you need it to be. Shift D, drag it down. Does the bottom need this? Sure. I didn't like double this one down, did I? No. And now you have that on the side. Then we are going to take this. I needed like a folder for these screws. Take that and duplicate this. I just want to pull it back and edit it by like killing one of the screws. So it's just the one screw because now I'm going to apply it to the back. This is blackboard thing. Origin to geometry. Come back here. Edit it. Rotate on the Z, I think. 90. It's facing the wrong way. I just rotated against Z. 180. So it's facing us. Then we can take this and like put it where it should be. It should still be aligned with that, right? They're still on the same. I think that's actually too deep. Go there. And you would just like imagine like these hopefully don't intersect with each other. And then we have it on both sides, of course, so just same thing. Duplicate, drag to where it needs to go. Duplicate, drag it down. Duplicate, drag it down. Doesn't need to be straight because wouldn't there be some sort of human error in making these things anyways, right? So the fact that it's not like perfectly aligned is actually perfect. There we go. I don't know if you would want to have it there. You maybe just have it glued to the back of these. I don't know. And we have that in the back, that on the sides. And I mean, it's looking good. Like I felt like at one point it was like, wow, this is kind of ugly, but I think now it's actually coming together, especially with the nails, giving it a bit more depth to its character, I'd argue. The screws, I'm calling nails the screws. Anything else we could add to this? I wanted to add pegs to the bottom of it, but I think that'd be doing too much since these boards are already trying to do a lot of heavy lifting with them extending outward like that. Though we can go ahead and do that anyways, so that's just easy. Just grab a cylinder, scale that bad boy down. Probably want these to be pretty big, so that's probably how big it will be. Then scale on the Z to flatten it down. Then just move it to where you would want it to be, which is probably like here, perhaps. And then scoot that up to there. We might even have to extend this down to the ground just to go. Looks like, I think it actually is better being flat than having these pegs on the bottom, but I'll make the pegs anyways. Like I need to. Select that, insert faces. This shouldn't even be on right now. Insert face, then grab you. Insert face. And grab the top of this as well. Insert face on top of that. So that when I come over here and shade smooth. It's all fine and dandy. The texture that we're going to use is just black because it doesn't matter. Then origin to geometry, then add a mirror, select the shelf, and then you want to also apply Y so it quadruples it. And there we go. Again, I don't know if you would want to have a shelf with these, I don't know, like rubber pegs maybe, or would you want the wood to be touching the ground, like the bottom of this plus this on the ground? I mean, I guess it would be scuffing up your floor. Maybe you don't want that, but I don't know. I'm just gonna select this and move it up so it's not that far off the ground. It's not anything anyone would see to begin with, but well. I don't think that looks pretty good in my opinion. Just hide everything. I don't think I need to add anything else. Let me just pull this up. I need to turn this back on so I can slightly zoom out. I think that's good, right? To use as like a thumbnail or something. Question marks. I mean, it looks really nice, I think. Again, I think it came together at the ends where at the beginning I was like, oh, this is looking kind of ugly. I didn't want to say that. It was mostly because of the wood texture, honestly. But now I think it's pretty good. Again, these nails I think are doing a lot of screws, are doing a lot of heavy lifting here for aesthetics. I like this aesthetic with the visible screws and whatnot. You just need to actually have some stuff to put on the shelf maybe now. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. So another hour and a half. These videos tend to be like around an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. Weirdly, I didn't think the shelf would actually take me this long, but I was too many little minute things I had to do to make it look nice. Yeah, there we go. Got a shelf. This one is actually, is it okay polygon wise? It kind of is, so I could like sell this if I wanted to on like my shop or something. I'm not selling any of these right now, but maybe I'll think about it in the future. Again, if you have any suggestions on things I should be making in this series, the new objects designed every day series, let me know, because of course I'm going to run out of things eventually. The shelf was a new idea to do today, so that added one, but we still have a table that mimics the chair that we did yesterday, a bottle, a specific kind of bottle. We probably have like a million different bottles in the future, but like a bottle it's like a hard plastic bottle with a metal top and metal bottom. A boba tea syringe, right? We still have those things, so we still have 4 more things to go after today, and I don't know what else. Again, any suggestions, please let me know. Yeah, cuties, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, or think about becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we're working on watch time and subscribers, and don't forget we have a throne now as well, and share to the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, and Alexgkiller 880. Yeah, cuties, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype. Remember to hype. Comments, you know the deal. See ya.